Is crypto finally going to all-time highs? Or is it going to keep selling off and tank even lower? Let's break it down. So last week I made a video that crypto was going to dump, or at least the altcoins were going to dump. And what happened? A lot of the major altcoins went down about 10, 15, even 20% from their previous highs. XRP went from like 365 down to like 298, I think. Doge went from like 28 cents down to 22. Avalanche went down. So many of these altcoins went down, right? We all saw it. But now, today is Sunday, July 27th, and it looks like we're coming back. It looks like we're about to break to new highs. There's a couple of things that could happen. One, we break the highs from last week and we keep on pumping. Two, we reject those highs from last week and then sell off even lower. That would be a problem. Like, say, for example, if Doge only goes to like 27 or 26 cents, rejects and goes down even lower, that's going to be a problem because it's going to be that much harder for things to really start pumping again. It could just be another shakeout, but it could also be another reversal to the downside. So let's take a look at the charts and see what we can come up with.
So looking at Ethereum, this is the daily chart. This is a pretty good sign so far. So the previous high was 3,859, which it hit on July 21st. Had a slight pullback, came back up, and today, Sunday, July 27th, we broke that high, not by much, but by a decent amount of 3,872. And let's take a look at some other coins. We'll go to Solana. Solana is still down from the high. So now this is something to keep in mind. I feel like coins like Solana, like within the top 10, are better indicators for how the overall altcoin market's going to move as opposed to Ethereum. But that's just me. You guys can have your own opinions in the comments. But we're not out of the woods yet, right? Like, this looks good so far. We want to see this rotate over into the altcoins like Solana, XRP, Dogecoin, Avalanche, so on and so forth. So right now, we're not out of the woods yet. We're very close. We're very close to making new highs. Ethereum's already done that, which is a green flag. That's a good sign. But we haven't broken that on the other altcoins. What I'm watching out for this week is whether or not we break last week's highs. Because if we come just shy, like say Solana rejects 200 and then comes back down again, usually when things fail to go higher, that leads to things going that much lower, and vice versa. What you don't want to see, what I was talking about before, is if we come up from here, we come up to here at like 200, here, another failure to go higher, down, boom, and then all the way down to here. Now, I don't see it going back that low. This would be treacherous. This is not out of the question just yet because we do have somewhat of a bearish pattern with the head and shoulders. So we got the head, shoulder, head, shoulder. So now, this is the bearish case. This is what we don't want to see. We don't want to see this support line get broken. This would be a true tragedy for the bulls. Like right here. We don't want to see this get broken. So are we bullish or bearish? It's too soon to tell. The market hasn't fully showed its hand yet, although everyone's already like, oh, Pengu $2. Let's pull up Pengu real quick. I know a lot of you guys like Pengu. So pull up the Pengu chart. What we don't want to see is the double top here. Right now, we're rejecting the previous high right here for 4.6. You don't want to see this rejection. This would not be very good. Double top. That's another peak bearish pattern. And I know some of you guys are going to say, oh, technical patterns. What are we talking about here? This is nonsense retail nonsense. However, these patterns exist for a reason, guys. They exist because the probability of them panning out is higher than them not panning out. But when they don't pan out, then the opposite usually happens. And this is well known amongst Wall Street institutional traders. This isn't just me making up nonsense. So if we can base here, break through this double top, retest the double top, then we should go all the way somewhere around this area in the dollar range, or at least in the 80s. But who knows? It's too early to say. I don't hold the Pengu yet. I missed the pullback the other day. Should have gotten in right about here. I was watching. I just didn't pull the trigger. I don't even know what I was doing or thinking. I think I was out and about, so I didn't make any moves. But yeah, Pengu. I think this one's gonna be good. This is the one you'll probably see on the news. Remember Dogecoin when everyone was talking about Doge, Saturday Night Live, all that crap? Pengu, I don't know if it's going to have the same run as Doge, but Pengu you see very often when it comes to crypto Twitter, when it comes to Instagram comments. Like you go to Instagram comments and you see those GIFs of the penguin character roaming around. That's this. That's what this is based off of because it started as an NFT project, the Pengus. So I think Pengu's going to have a really good run. This is probably one I'm probably better off keeping a secret, but I really don't care. Banana Gun. I don't think any of you guys are going to buy this one. I think this one's a huge sleeper. I learned this one from Wiz on crypto Twitter, or just X. And this one has been surprisingly strong. It's a Telegram bot. They make a lot of money. And what they do is they show trades that are made in real time in Telegram channels. Like say you make a trade and it's connected to this bot. So you could show your group the trade you made in real time as soon as you place it through this bot. So this is pretty cool. Apparently they actually make revenue. If you look them up on X, I think they have over 100,000 followers. So it's a legitimate company. Like they know their stuff. They're good. So definitely don't sleep on Banana Gun. Now the reason why I'm bullish on the overall crypto market is because we have a potential interest rate coming up in September. The economy is doing pretty well so far. We don't have like the same fear looming of recession. We had a very strong bounce. Stock market is still pumping all-time highs, but I think that's going to start petering out soon. And then once that happens, I think money's going to rotate from the stock market, futures market, all the way over to the crypto market, which is already kind of happening in real time, but we'll see what happens as the months play out. And similar to 2021, let's go to Ethereum 2021. This will be the last thing I show you guys, and then we'll call it for today. So this is a weekly chart. Let's take it over to the monthly chart. All right, you guys with me? So we'll take it back, going back to a little history lesson right here. So monthly chart right here. This is July. July, we had a nice green month, pumped. August, nice little pump. This is Ethereum on the monthly chart. And then September was a red month. We went down 17%. Now, this is probably when everyone was like, oh, bull market's over. We're done. We're a toast. GG's. Our hearts have been ripped out. It's done. And then what happened in October? Came back a little bit. Hype was starting to get back into it. Had a 7.5% month. And then, boom. Bull flag breakout. What do we see? For anyone that was hating the retail patterns, look at that. Bull flag. Little baby one, but it's on the monthly chart, so it's got much more strength to it. Bull flag. Boom. November. 59% in a month. On Ethereum, a multi-billion-dollar market cap company, or I guess I shouldn't call it a company. Token. Ecosystem. Whatever you want to call it. Boom. Nuts. Boom. Nuts. December. Boom. January. Bull run. All-time freaking highs. Oh my gosh. May 2021 was scary. This was a wild ride. This definitely ripped some hearts out. Like, oh my gosh. Wow. 4,300 to 1,700. Oh my gosh. And closed at 27. My goodness. So here people were starting to feel some doubt. Here people were like, oh my God, it's all freaking over. What are we going to do? My gosh. A lot of people probably exited here, got smoked out around this area, came back. And here we see a bullish hammer candle. Another technical pattern. Guys, definitely don't sleep on the technical patterns that everyone makes fun of because it's retail trading. No, dummy. You see these posts all the time because that's what they want you to think. Oh, because it's just a retail pattern. It doesn't work. But then you see it pan out in real time in charts like this. Bullish hammer candle while we're on a bull trend. Boom. That high gets taken out. Boom. All-time freaking highs. Look at that, 35% in a month. This one, scary, 12.5% down. Boom, another one, 42.5% or 43%. My gosh, boom, bull run. And then we came and all this happened. I'll make another video on knowing when to sell. If you don't feel like waiting for mine, Alex Becker has a really good video on how to take profits in crypto, because those are the questions you should be asking yourself. When and how am I going to take profits? Because nothing is promised. That's why I'm saying we could easily flush back down. But if you look at the monthly chart right here in Ethereum, if we close like this, or even if we close like here, which would be even better, if we close over 4,000, that is most likely going to be huge. We'll probably still get that major wick shakeout to the downside, back to 2,700 to break people's hearts, somewhere in this zone right here. But then after that, if bull run keeps happening, boom, most likely 5,000 to 6,000 is what it's looking like. This could be huge, guys. That's why I'm pretty bullish on crypto going into the rest of this year and early next year. Look at some other coins. Doge, not super convinced yet. Gotta see how this month's closing, but so far so good. If we close over the 9 EMA, which is the blue line right here, 20 cents, looking pretty good to take back the 40s and see new highs. Avalanche, not fully convinced just yet, but next month, if it breaks these highs of 26, 27, we're looking pretty good to at least see the 40s, 50s. Now, it's still early. Any major push up could easily get reversed on in the next candle on either the weekly chart, daily, or even the monthly. Weekly chart looks really good. I want to see a nice breakout to the upside into the 40s next week if we stay bullish. Now, me personally, I want to stay bearish, but my heart and brain kind of come together with looking at the chart and it's saying bullish. So take that with a grain of salt. But my confirmations are we broke out of this consolidation, held over the 9 and 20 EMA. We're looking pretty good so far. We are looking pretty freaking good. However, we are still on the overall downtrend. Still, if you look at the weekly, lower high, lower low. Where are we going to go? To be honest, I don't really know. But I do expect to see 30s, 40s coming into this week. This content is mainly made for my diamond handlers that don't feel like day trading this stuff. It's all about how you're going to buy and hold. What are your price targets? What are your profit targets? I'm holding for all-time highs. I'm holding way over 147 for Avalanche. It's going to be a while before it gets there, but I am totally okay with that.
So I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys like my breakdown. If you feel like I'm an idiot, like I'm totally wrong on my bearish thesis or my bullish thesis, go right ahead, hate on me in the comments, shill your tokens, give me some of your predictions or whatever you think is going to happen in the market, your timelines and all that stuff. I love to see new ideas. I appreciate you very much watching. I got more videos like these coming out real soon, so stay tuned. Peace.